I'm Ryan from Prima, and these are Compak espresso grinders. Compak has been around for some time. These grinders are made in Barcelona, Spain, and over the last 10 years, they've really stepped up their game and started producing some grinders that are really competitive with others on the market, especially in the grind by time space. Today, what I want to do is give you a brief overview of each grinder. We're going to talk about the customer profile, who each of these grinders is for, and then we'll be done. All right, so let's get started with our first grinder. First up, we have the i3 Pro Mini. Now this is a smaller version of the i3 Pro, and basically what they've done is created a grinder that's 17 inches tall that can fit underneath countertops at home with a small capacity hopper. So in terms of basic features, this is a grind by time. As with every grinder we're going to use here today, it is adjustable in tenths of a second and you get 2 doses. You also get a pulse button. This is one of the better pulse buttons that I think I have ever felt on an espresso grinder because it is so incredibly responsive and very fast. There's also a manual mode, which just holds the grinder on, and that's great for single dosing at home, right? So you're not grinding by time, you can just bypass that altogether and press the manual button. Inside of this grinder is a set of Compak's proprietary 58mm steel burrs. In combination with this motor, they're putting out about 7 grams every 2.7 seconds, which is not slow, right? So that's more than twice as fast as you'd get from something like a Mazzer Mini, a Baratza Forte, which are around 1, maybe a little more grams per second. That's pretty substantial. So an impressive little grinder for home or maybe for a coffee cart or small coffee operations. Now, next I want to talk about the i3 Pro, which is the i3 Pro Mini's bigger brother. And really all they did was take the i3 Pro, cut the body down, as well as cut the hopper down to get it to that 17-inch. So if you opt for the i3 Pro, what you're getting is a little bit bigger hopper capacity, as well as a taller grinder. So maybe a little bit more ideal for commercial environments. Okay, next up we have the E8OD. Now this is kind of Compak's mid-tier grinder. It's grinding 7 grams in about 1.6 seconds. So a 20 gram shot's gonna take a little under 5 seconds, which is pretty fast. So it's very competitive with grinders like the Mazzer Koni or the Melkonig E65S. From the control screen up here, we have access to 3 doses, and they can be controlled in increments of 1/100th of a second each for a pretty precise output dose. There's also some statistics in here. You have burrware alerts. You also have daily dose counting, so you can check how many doses were ground in a particular day. Inside of this grinder is a fan drawing heat away from the motor, lessening that heat transfer from the burrs to the coffee during busy times, which helps keep your grind size consistent. So that's the E8OD. I think it's really ideal for coffee carts especially, but also, mid-volume cafes. Most cafes, this is the size of espresso grinder they're gonna want, but it also could easily fit in a high volume environment as well. It is capable of handling that. So again, that's the E8OD. Last up, we have the Bolt 83. And now this is where things really get serious. This grinder has some really crazy features that I'm going to talk about. First of all, let's talk about the basics. Inside, you've got the same 83mm flat burr set as the E8OD. It has a bigger motor, right? So it's putting out 7 grams per second instead of 1.6 seconds. You're gonna get that 20 gram shot in literally under 3 seconds, which is competitive with the absolute fastest commercial espresso grinders on the market. With this grinder, you also have that same stepless adjustment, but the collar is actually removed in a slightly different way. There is a lock and load system, as Compak calls it, and with an Allen key, you can turn these 2 keys here and then lift the collar straight up, clean the burr chamber, and when you put it back on, again, your grind setting is retained. There's no need to re-zero or recalibrate. You can start exactly where you left off. Now, I promised some crazy features, so let's talk about what this grinder can do. This grinder actually is able to pre-dose and store a volume of pre-ground coffee for your next espresso shot. All right, so how that works is You walk up and you put your portafilter in. It's gonna grind and it's gonna hold that coffee in a little chamber here. And the next time that you walk up, push the button with your portafilter, it's gonna open a trap door and instantly drop those grounds right into your basket, and then simultaneously begin pre-grinding for the next dose. So by the time you turn around, lock that portafilter into the machine, get another portafilter and put it in, your dose has been ready for you for like 10 seconds already. So let's say you have 2 baristas on bar, right? One person doses, turns around, locks it in. The second barista walks to the machine to get the second dose. Really, by the time they get there, this is already done, pre-grinding for that dose. It can keep up with any commercial espresso machine. It can outpace any couple pair of baristas. I have been to cafes that actually go through the work of pre-grinding coffee and storing them in tins, which is very efficient, but this design totally negates the need for something like that. There is gonna be no wait time at all for ground coffee with this, which is really minimizing that wait for your customers, and that really matters. So if you're in a high volume environment where you are outpacing your grinder, the Bolt 83 might be the one for you. So this has been a brief overview of the Compak espresso grinder lineup here at Prima. If you are in the market for a new espresso grinder for your coffee cart or your cafe, check out the links in the description, ask your questions in the comments, or drop us a line to talk with an expert. That's all for today. Happy brewing.